Friday afternoon. It is the 28th of July, and we're marking 40 years as a city for Derby today. 40 years ago, when the Queen visited, the Mayor, Geoffrey Tillett, sent Andy Broughton a signed booklet to commemorate the occasion. Well, every year since, Andy's had the book signed by each successive mayor. He still has the booklet, and he's here to tell me the whole story now. Andy, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Steve.
Looking forward to hearing this. First of all, take me back to that day in 1977. And what are your memories of getting up in the morning and how the day panned out?
Well, it had obviously a massive build-up that Derby was going to be made a city, and I remember I was 13 at the time. I was off school. I don't know if we all had the day off school or what happened, but I was off, and there was no television news at that time in the day, but Radio Derby had reports throughout the day, and it was great to listen to the reporters actually at the scene. I wasn't in town, but we were able to feel as though we were part of the crowd, and it was like a humming, a buzzing sound, you know, and then people like the Queen arrived, and the cheers, and you could only picture what was happening, but you felt as though you were part of it.
Yeah, through the radio.
Through the radio,
listening to Radio Derby. So you were at school at the time. What was the buzz around school like when this day was coming?
It was a really proud moment, because you think we had to ask our parents what it meant. You know, what does it mean to change from a town to a city? You know, and it was explained it's a really important thing. You know, and the Queen very rarely did that. So when it came to it, we thought it was making us even prouder than ever of Derby. You know, and as times progressed, it's always made me think it's a great place to be. Derby's a brilliant place to live. You know, and immensely, hugely proud of the place, and I wouldn't ever like to live anywhere else.
I was going to say, is it a place you've ever left?
No.
Come back, you're born and bred, and this is where you call home all your life.
Exactly. I think we've got everything we need here. You know.
And with the celebrations, with the big parties,
day. There were things. Some people arranged things in the street, a bit like when the Silver Jubilee was on a couple of years before.
It was the same year, wasn't it?
It was like the street parties and things as well, and people and things. I think from what I remember, the pubs and things were doing stuff like that, various things to commemorate it as well, and people had all kinds of bunting outside, you know. But I remember it like it was yesterday. It's amazing.
Well, tell me about this piece of history you've got then from the day itself. I've just touched on it there, but just explain what it is and how you came to have hold of it, first of all.
Right. Well, just a couple of months before this, I'd started what has become a lifetime hobby of collecting autographs. I wrote to famous people, and I wrote to a film star, the Prime Minister, Jim Callaghan at the time, and he'd responded. So I was just getting into writing to people. It's before email and before fax and everything else, so it was all done by letter.
Who was the first one you got?
Peter Cushing,
film
star.
Brilliant.
He was in Star Wars at the time, and after that I went to Jim Callaghan, Morecambe and Wise, Larry Grayson, people like that. They all responded, who were big stars at the time. And then I thought, the mayor's a really important person. I wonder if he signs autographs. So I wrote to him. He sent me initially a signed photograph back, but then later on he sent me a booklet, which was the Charter Celebration booklet, to cover the whole event of the Derby being made a city. And it was a booklet which covered all the pictures and all the news of what happened. And he'd actually signed the front cover for me and dated it. Wow. So I just kept that. But then it came to me that I thought maybe I should send it to every successive mayor. Every year, up to, you know, over the 40 years, I've sent it back to the mayor, and he signed it and sent it back with a personally signed photograph. So I've got a pictorial record with the help of Colette Flood and previous mayor's officers. They're very helpful when I go in there. They help me, give me access to the mayor, meet them, often have a photograph taken together, and he signs this picture, and it's a massive historical document for the city, really, in general.
And you've kept it in really good condition as well. It still looks as brand new as it would have been in 1977, apart from obviously the scribbling all over it. But,
you know, that's
the point.
Yeah, it goes in a plastic wallet when it's not here, you know, and but it's starting to get a bit tatty, but I'm very careful that when people handle it now, because because of its age, and it needs to be treated with care.
But what you've done is you've placed it in a photo album, which has also got a photo of every mayor that signed it. So altogether in that photo album, that's a piece of real Derby history now.
It is, yes. It can't ever be replaced. You know, it can never be replicated. Obviously, most of them are dead now, of course, unfortunately. And what I've said to the council is when I come to to pass away, I'll make sure this goes back. It's gone in the will, so it comes back to the council, to the city as a whole.
So the city will keep hold of that.
Yeah, it would be tragic to lose it, really, wouldn't it?
Have you had it valued at all?
No, I've never.
Any value on it?
I've never looked at that. It would be a massive value to the city, I think, more than anything else, because I've never seen another collection like, or anything with all the signatures built up on one document like that. So it is fascinating to see. And it was only this year that alarm bells, because of all the Radio Derby coverage about the 40 years, and I thought, that's 40 years old. My collection's 40 years old. I'm 40 years older. And it was a fascinating insight, really.
So were any of the mayors difficult to get hold of? Or some easier than others, some more difficult than others?
Not really, no. I mean, the mayor's officers gave me access to this. There was somebody called Alan Naylor originally, then Phil O'Brien, and now there's a lady called Colette Flood there. And it's almost like the first official engagement of the mayor when he takes over in May. She says, you're going to be having Andrew Broughton in to get this book. So
brilliant.
It come out almost a chore, So, but they're very accommodating, and we have pictures taken together, and they happily sign them, to be honest. They're not difficult at all.
I'm going to put you on the spot here, and I bet you won't answer me, but can you pick any one of them that stand out as your favourite one of all the last 40 years?
I think Bob Newton, he stood out at the time. He was a bit of a character, and he had trouble with the unions. There was people that wouldn't type his letters at the time. He did something which upset the people that worked for him, so he was a bit of a character, and he's a former union man. And I also like, there's the latest one, obviously, John Whitby. He's the local councillor for me. He's fascinating. But all of them, it is hard to pick them out, and every one of them's got their own qualities, and they bring a lot to the city, and they choose their own charitable events to sponsor. So it is really difficult to pick a single one out.
Have you ever, and I'm sure this is a difficult task, tried to get the Queen's signature on it?
Oh no, I haven't. But over the years, I've tried so many times, and I from when I was a young child, writing into the Queen, and you get these standard letters, but the Queen never signs autographs.
Yeah, I thought that would be the answer, but you must have tried at least.
I have tried. Oh yeah. Well, Nice McWhirter, who was the editor of the Guinness Book of Records, he called me the most persistent collector. He said, because most people would accept no as a no, but you don't. You carry on going until you get them. But I ended up having to buy the Queen's signature. They came up on photographs that were originally on display, and people took them down and parted with them. So I ended up. They go for a high price, but about £500. They're really rare. But I've got all the royal family, but that's the only way I managed to get hers.
Well, listen, Andy, it's been great to catch up with you today. Thank you for coming in, and this is a real great piece of Derby history.
Thanks, Stephen. It's great meeting you as well. Thanks.
Real pleasure. What we'll do is we'll take some pictures of it, and we'll pop them up on Facebook sites and things like that, so people can see. But thank you for sharing your memories.
No,
cheers, Andy.
Thank you.
BBC Radio Derby, and on your memories of 1977 as well, please. On the text, it's 81333. Just start your text with the word Derby.